Welcome to Hospitality Live with Rupesh. Each week, we feature an industry leader that will share the latest trends and the best strategies to help you grow. Now, welcome your host, Rupesh Patel.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to the show. Welcome to episode number 76. And let me make sure we're live all over the place. So guys, we're live on LinkedIn, we're live on Clubhouse, and we're live on YouTube. Guys, welcome to the show. This is episode number 76. Guys, let me know where you're watching from, where you're listening from. Some people are listening from their cars, going to work, or walking to wherever they are inside their building, and they're all right. So let me post this up. Guys, I'm going to be a little bit confused when we're talking about today's show because I'm in a hotel room. This is the Hyatt Centric in Park City, Utah. Guys, comment and let me know where you're watching from. Yes, I am doing this live. We took a 5-day, 6-day vacation now, and we're recording live. And I don't have my show notes here, so I'm going to be doing this off the top of my head and really relying on you to support me. So, guys, all right, let's see where we have. All right, so we have Sarah. Welcome to the show. You're listening live from Portugal. I love that. All right, guys, we have people from all over the place. Guys, comment, let us know. We're giving away a $50 Amazon gift card before the end of the show. We got Chicago in the house. Let's see, Maryland, Arkansas, Kentucky, India. All right, let's see, who else? Maryland, North Carolina. Guys, comment, let us know where we're watching from. And let me pull this off. All right. So this episode is number 76. And let me pull up my show notes because I'm going to forget everything. I'm kind of stressed out right now. I don't know why. All right. So this episode, we're talking about 10 ways to make money, extra money on the side with your side hustle. Guys, comment and let me know, do you actually have a side hustle that you make a little bit of money off of? Because, sometimes we got to keep going, and sometimes we got to keep going with a little bit of cash on the side. And I love that. I have dozens and dozens of ways to make money, and I do every week, every day sometimes. And I did post about, I made $3,000 yesterday just doing nothing. And basically, we're going to talk about that in the show. But all right, so today you're going to discover how to turn your passion into extra money, discover creative ways to make money, which is always fun when it's fun to make money, right? And find out my side hustles that I love. So guys, comment, let me know where you're watching from. And Sarah's going to be on with the Hospitality Minute here in about 5-10 minutes. So guys, stay tuned. All right, so we have a lot of people on from all over the place. We have Wisconsin in the house, Boise, Idaho, London. I love this. Dubai's in the house. All right, guys, welcome to the show. So we are giving away a $50 gift card to Amazon before the end of the show to the most engaging person that asks the best questions, that is involved, that is commenting, all of those things. So I'm going to be doing that. I'm watching the live feed in the chat, and I'm going to be kind of sharing these ideas with you. So guys, I'm super excited. This week's mindset, and every week I have a mindset about what's going on in life. And all right, so I didn't post this yet, but I am going to post this. I think it's important when you can think about kind of keeping your mind clear and not feeling bad about things. And all right, so here's one perfect example. So I followed a person, and then we had a good connection on LinkedIn, but I followed them on Clubhouse, and we started chatting, and I felt like it was a good conversation. And then 2 days later, maybe like 3 days later, I went back to see if they were still following me, and they unfollowed me, right? And I can understand that, sometimes it's like, should I feel bad about that, or should I take that personally? And you know what? I actually took it personally for first time in a long time, where I'm like, you know what? This person, we just had a good rapport, and we built this relationship, and then all of a sudden they unfollowed me. Well, here's the mindset. Don't worry about them, because not everybody's going to connect with you. Not everybody's going to believe in you. And guess what? Maybe they don't want to understand or learn, or they're not passionate about what you're passionate about. And it's totally okay if we build a connection, but then we unfollow each other because of whatever reason. Maybe they have something in their own mind that is preventing them from connecting with you, or some of those things. Have you guys ever felt that way in your life, as far as like you connect with somebody and all of a sudden they're totally out of your life? It's tough, especially when you're like, you thought you were going to do something with this person, or you thought you were going to have this relationship, even if it's on social media, which is kind of tough, when you're thinking about it. So that's my mindset this week. And I think we keep going. Have you ever been in that situation where, you had to unfollow somebody, or they unfollowed you and felt bad? I say we don't feel bad. We keep it going. We keep it moving. We keep hustling, and keep our minds positive. That's what we're here for. So that's my mindset this week. And guys, this episode, and before I forget, this episode is brought to you by my buddies and my good my good friends at Impulsify. And let me read the show notes real quick and make sure I get the right thing. So somebody in the comments right now, somebody put in the URL to this company. They're awesome. Impulsify, Robert and Janine Williams, they run the show there. They're in over 1,000 hotels. They've made hotels money, extra money. So if you're looking at improving your retail at your stores, if you have a pantry, if you have a gift shop, if you have any grab and go at your hotel, you need to connect with Impulsify. So all right, so I'm going to read the show. I'm going to read the notes real quick. All right, so this episode is brought to you by Impulsify. Make more profits. We're talking about revenue right now. We want to make more profits for our hotels. Increase your revenues through your hotel and grow by using Impulsify. They use their technology, data, and all these analytics to make and sell more products. They tell you the best-selling products. So if you're just selling crap that you think that might be selling at your hotel or you think might be selling, stop wasting time and money. Use Impulsify. And by the way, they have a bestseller guide right now. So if you're just selling stuff in your hotel, sweet shop or gift shop or pantry, and you're just thinking that like, oh, this might sell, and then all of a sudden it's on your shelf for like a month and it is expired, then you lose business. Have you ever done that where you just lost money because, or you had to throw stuff away or give it away to staff? It happens all the time. And I see dozens of hotels where you walk into their pantry, their gift shop, and you have to dust off some of the products because they've just been sitting on the shelf. You do not have to do that anymore. You can make profits by making it smart. And by the way, here is the bestseller guide for 2021. So if you want to know the hottest selling items, here it is. So here it is. You can fill out and get this free guide. It's the 2021 bestseller hotel retail guide. And let me put up the link real quick where it is. And it is right there. Get the free guide right now, guys, and start improving your hotel. Start improving the way you sell stuff in your pantry, your gift shop. I think it's going to help you improve. And this is free. This is a free guide that Impulsify is offering. So definitely get this right now or bookmark this. It's rupesh.co/Impulsify. And start improving and making more money. We're talking about money today. And my buddy Sarah's on, and she's still in Portugal. She's still hustling in Portugal, which I love. She's helping out a hotel, and let's get her on, and let's start the Hospitality Minute right now.
Hi, I'm Sarah Dandashy from Ask a Concierge. Every week, I'll be sharing the latest hospitality and travel news and updates in a segment we like to call Hospitality Minutes.
All right, Sarah, welcome. You're still in Portugal. What's up?
I am. I'm still in Lisbon. Hey, everybody. I finally come back on Friday. So back to real life. It's been
awesome. Do you like it there? Do you love it? Could you live there?
I could definitely spend a good amount of time here. How about that? Yeah. And I am due to come back actually in like probably 6 weeks. So
okay,
more to come.
Awesome. I've been following your whole journey in what you're doing behind the scenes, and it's been amazing to see all the fun stuff that you've been doing. And let's get into the Hospitality Minute because I want to know what's going on in hospitality and travel because I've been away from like maybe some of the news sources in the last few days. So you know how it goes.
I know. I gotcha. Yeah, let's dive in.
Let's do it.
All right, cool. So perfect. So for this Hospitality Minute, a lot of interesting things happening. Kind of want to focus a little bit on trends or what big decisions are being made, which are reflecting trends. So our first sort of headline that's been going on is Accor Hotels. They have just announced that they are going to be doing an expansion of the Delano in Paris. And why is this noteworthy? I mean, basically, it's really kind of showing that they're kind of putting their, doubling down on the luxury market. So again, as we're kind of looking ahead and looking forward, they're really kind of predicting that a lot of people will be looking for more luxury vacations. So they're like, hey, we're going to use this downtime and spruce everything up, expand, and really kind of double down on that. So I think that's also pretty interesting and for all, especially for a city location as well, because I don't know how many of you know what's been going on in Paris, but it definitely I think actually France is the largest country that gets the most international visitors in a year. So you can just imagine how their economy has been affected, as all of ours, but especially theirs, just since it is so reliant on international travelers. So this is really an interesting decision that they're making for Paris. So moving on, another interesting thing that's going on, Marriott. Marriott is actually, they have decided to add 19 all-inclusive resorts in the Caribbean, Central America, and to really kind of push the leisure travel market. Now, why is this notable? This is actually kind of like double their all-inclusive resorts that they had before. So that's notable. And it's also showing that they're keeping an eye on what is doing relatively well right now in the industry. And they found that resorts, especially all-inclusives in these warmer climates, especially the Caribbean, Central America, where they've maybe been a little bit more open or relaxed on their travel restrictions, they have done, again, relatively well. So really interesting that they are doing that, because they traditionally have not gotten in that game. So always cool to see what's going on with the folks over at Marriott. Another interesting thing. So last week, or I don't know if you guys heard, but US officials were saying that they were considering mandating that people had to get COVID-19 tests for domestic flights within the US. Now, it's not official yet, but they are considering this. And it's interesting because the Delta CEO, he actually just came out and said he's actually not in support of requiring domestic COVID testing. He is in full support of requiring COVID testing for international flights, but not necessarily for domestic flights. And what he's actually predicting is that, again, this is really going to be the summer. We're still seeing another big summer where domestic travel will be king, because so much is up in the air. No pun intended for an airline, but so much is up in the air that they really don't know where international travel will be. So again, interesting stuff that's happening in the world of that. And then our final topic for today, which probably wouldn't come too much of a surprise, but it also kind of plays off of that. It's looking like it is going to be the staycation summer across Europe. Again, that's really what's going to be driving local tourism. Again, especially in Europe, and I can say this because I'm here currently, but this will bleed over, I think, to the US as other places. Again, as so many things are up in the air, local tourism is really what people are going to be focusing on. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. And that's it for today's Hospitality Minute.
Yeah, Sarah, hold on, let me pull you up. All right, so listen, that is awesome. I can't wait till you come back and we connect at in the same time zone, or at least the same country. Sarah, it's always a pleasure. Now we're talking about side hustle, making more money, and we all love this concept. And listen, you have to love this concept, because guess what? It keeps you going. And Sarah, I know you have a bunch of side hustles. Do you want to stay on and for a little bit share some of your side hustles and make a comment, and maybe help me and the listeners?
I'm totally down to stay on. My Wi-Fi is acts weird, just kick me off. But yeah. Okay. I feel like I always have a bunch of side hustles.
Well, you're not at a side hustle right now. You're actually working. This is like your gig that you love to do, right?
Yeah, no, this is definitely my gig that I love to do. And so again, like working with a property, a little bit of a different way, but obviously creating kind of like their content for when they reopen, and then also working a bit on their customer service as well too. So with the employees here. But as far as my side hustles, I mean, there's a lot of them. I mean, I even just the other day, I was hired to help host like a little educational seminar for a business that I have nothing to do with. They literally hire me as a host. So that's one way that I make actually extra money doing random conversations.
Well, Sarah and I have made some money over this last month. And it was actually very easy. And we were like, why didn't we think of this a long ago? All right, so today we're going to get into episode 76. It is the 10 creative ways, 10 fun ways, 10 awesome ways to make extra money on the side with your side hustles, right? Sorry, so here's the conversation. I mean, here's the first one. And I have a bunch of them. I think I have more than 20 or 30 of them. And I'm going to say, all right, so before we start, now making money shouldn't just be your only goal, right? Money is kind of money. I feel like money is what gets you to where you want to go as far as a passion, or it can get you to a goal that you have as far as what you want to do later in your life. So don't just focus on money. It's not going to make you happy. Trust me. I know a lot of people with a lot of money and it's not making them happy just to have a lot of money. But if there was passion around it, there was purpose around it, it made you feel fulfilled. I think those are the reasons why you really go after money. But sometimes, listen, if you're just getting started or if you've been furloughed, hey, money might be something very important. So consider this. When I talk about money, I'm at a different place in my life, and Sarah's at a different place in her life right now at this exact moment. So you cannot compare, and please don't compare your life with my life or anybody else's on social media, because it's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt me. I've done that in the past where I've made mistakes and said, listen, I'm looking at his life or her life, and they have an awesome, amazing life. Guys, if you believe this and you feel like that you've kind of separated yourself from other people because, they have their own goals. I have my own goals. Sarah has her own goals. And I think that's important. Hit the like button if you can believe that you can have that mindset, and then keep going, because I think it's important for all of us, right? But once you understand and respect money and you have these passions and purposes, there are ways. And listen, everybody listening here, you have an opportunity. And I shared this in my boot camp, our boot camp, and I said, listen, something that you could teach at least 1 billion people. Like, more than at least 1 billion people. And Sarah's like, wow, when I said that. And it's true, right? And so how do you go out and teach people? And so the number one thing that Sarah and I did together is in January, we're like, well, listen, Sarah, you built this following and you've been hustling on social media, trying to build a following. I've been doing the same thing on LinkedIn, trying to build a following. And we're like, I know there's other people that are just like us that want to learn how to grow their own following and maybe their own social media accounts. And so we said, how about we just throw a boot camp together? Within 2 days, we threw up a landing page or a sales page. And Sarah, we sold out, right?
We did. Twice.
Twice, yes. The first time we had a waiting list for the second time, and we're going to do it again here in the next couple of maybe weeks or a month or so. But it was amazing. So the first tip I have to make extra money on the side is, and guess what? It was 3 hours. I mean, it was more planning, but it was 3 hours out of our working time to put this stuff together, right? I think once you have it built out, you can continue this, and it's a no-brainer. Sarah, can you add to the conversation? I think she just lost her Wi-Fi. All right, so so the first one is like, something, go train somebody else, go put up a landing page. Put it out there. Do an online course. Do an in-person course. Guess what? We used Zoom. We didn't buy this whole expensive platform. We used Zoom at $15 a month to go bring 10, 20 people on to a course, and we used PayPal, right? Which was amazing. So I love that we could do all these things and create extra income. All right. So the next one, number 2, is sell a product. If you love something that you think you can sell online and you use it at your hotel, you use it in your personal life, and you think you could sell it with your own, it could be digital, it could be physical, it could be a product, right? I love that you could do these things. So for me, long time ago, 8 years ago, I started creating these little tools for my hotels, and we started gaining traction on social media. We started getting more reviews, and I was like, well, we're using these tools. And one simple thing was like an air freshener where they that asked for a review. So a guest would check out. We'd say, Mr. Smith, thank you so much for staying with us. Here's an air freshener for your car because I know you're going back or you're going to travel for our next destination. Guess what? On the card, it said, love your stay, loved our service, post a review, and here's an air freshener. Guess what? For the next 2 weeks, they're going to remember how to that you stayed at the hotel, and this air fresheners might remind you to post a review. And guess what? I turned that into a business. Oh, so I sell products on the side, and I just don't only have just one website. I have a few websites that I'm hustling with, right? I think Sarah's back on. Hang on, let me get her back. All right. Hey, Sarah, you back?
I'm back. Sorry. Yeah, whatever.
So listen. I was talking about smart guests. So I created a website called smartguests.com 7 years ago. One person bought for me after like 3 months of trying to promote it. And I was like, yes, my first sale was $20. I was happy with it. But guess what? Now we have more than 4,400 hotels within the United States and Canada that buy from us. And it was just a side hustle that started, and it's still a side hustle. It's not my main business, right? So I love it where you can build an online website that you can go out there and promote, right? Does anybody have a website or something that you have on the side as far as selling a product or even a digital products through that sell too? Sarah, do you have anything like that where you have a website you sell?
I don't have a website that I sell, but I do have a platform via Amazon. So I basically created a storefront because a lot of people ask me, hey, what type of equipment do you use? Like, what's your ring light? What's this? So I can direct them to my Amazon storefront. They can buy whatever products I recommend, and then I get a little bit of money back. It's not a lot, but it is something. And it's like, hey, if I'm going to give the recommendation, you might as well get a little something back for it. So it's kind of amazing. I love what you actually said about, even starting your side hustle with smart guests. You bring up a really good point. Sometimes it just takes like getting like the first one or two people to buy something, and then it grows from there. And you just have to kind of get like the first one or two, and then like, okay, you kind of like can fall into your stride with it. I don't know. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing people in the comments posting their side hustle, which is awesome. Like, it doesn't have to be your own. You could sell somebody else's stuff, and we're going to talk about that. So what Sarah is actually talking about, and I have an Amazon associate account too, is very simple. Once you have, and guess what? You don't need thousands of followers. You can influence 50 people, and those 50 people might be your best supporters. They might be your biggest fans, right? So don't think that you need a huge following to start selling stuff. No, when I started Smart Guest and then we started gaining traction, I had like 200-300 people on LinkedIn as followers, right? So you have to start somewhere. So I love that you can sell stuff on social media. I think it's powerful. And so my other one, my number 3 was the affiliate program, which is an Amazon associate account where you can, so here's the thing about social media or articles. When you write an article, you can include like your top 5 or top 10 lists or products that you use every single day. And then when you create an Amazon associates account, they give you a special link that you pop into your article. And anytime somebody clicks on that and they buy, you get a percent. It's 5%, 10%, 7%, 3%, depends on the product, depends on how you marketed it. But guess what? That's extra money on the side, and I love that. So I do the same thing with like multiple sites. One is onlinejobs.ph, which is a virtual assistant website. So if you're looking for a virtual assistant website or somebody that just needs to like keep you going because you have these repetitive tasks, I use onlinejobs.ph. But guess what? Every month I make $55 from them because other people use it. Right, which is like $55 is like dinner out, or it's like a few lunches or something, right? And I love that you can compound all these side hustles to make some actual real money, and it could be even more money than your actual real job, which I do not recommend you quit. Right? Don't just all of a sudden turn a website up and be like, "Oh, I'm leaving my job." Get some traction, and maybe you have 20 things that you do, like I do. Right? It's okay. As long as you're willing to put in the time, put in the effort. It's a mindset, right? All right, so the next one is you can be a virtual assistant to somebody else. Have you considered that? Like,
Actually,
go ahead.
I did that for a little bit. So I don't do it anymore, but I actually did that for a bit when I was still working at the hotel. I was actually doing virtual assistant work for somebody and even doing just kind of like private concierge work for somebody. So there are different ways that you can like really play around with it. So sorry, I had to chime in there because that's it's such an easy thing to do. And it might be, okay, fine. What is it? You charge, let's just say $25 an hour, but it's like you do 4 hours in a week. That's an extra $100 that like you could make money.
Yeah. And guys, don't forget, keep commenting because the most engaging person is going to win that $50 Amazon gift card. I'm giving away money today. Sarah, is it okay if we just give away a little bit?
I think that's okay. I think that's
All right. So, and if you're finding this, if you're liking this topic, hit the like button and comment that you're liking it so that we continue. Maybe we do a part 2 because we have more than this. All right. So the next one is we talked about virtual assistant. You can be a virtual assistant, but guess what? If you don't know where to find people that actually want a virtual assistant, go to an account like Fiverr.com. Easy. You can put up like what you're good at and what you're going to help somebody with. So if you're good at design and you can create people's background for LinkedIn or their a post for them as far as a graphic, go to Fiverr.com and become a virtual assistant, right? So that is number 4. Next one, I shared with Sarah about 2 months ago, and I think, Sarah, you might be on it. It's clarity.fm. Are you on it?
Yes, I am. It's so awesome. It just, first of all, you go ahead and explain it.
No, I'm just kidding. I was going to try to put you on the spot, but no, I'm trying to find the page. Hang on, let me see if I can find the clarity.fm page. Oh, here it is. Check this out. So here's my clarity.fm page. Do you see it? Right here. So if you go to clarity.fm, people are looking for advice right now. So imagine like I needed help right now. Where do you go, right? And so clarity.fm does this. I charge $5.83 a minute, right? And people pay for like 30 minutes. And Sarah and I actually did one together on Clarity. And she was like, oh my God, I got to get on this. So what I do, I just created an account. And look, I've had a few calls and this is all side hustle stuff. Remember, this is not your main thing that you're going after, right? This is not your main job. This is like, how do you create residual income? So yeah, people request calls with me all the time and it's just fun. So clarity.fm is on there. Sarah's on there too. We're both on there. And I think it's another way just to make extra money.
Mm-hmm. And also what it is you're putting yourself out there. That's what half of it is basically you can look at these all as different like verticals of like your overall business, especially if you are looking at yourself as a personal brand. So definitely put yourself out on as many platforms as possible.
Yes. Now, this is going to be super. Listen, I love being creative. I love doing like things outside of like where you can think. So, all right. So at the beginning of in March, maybe April, May, after they opened up doors in Florida where you can like travel a little bit. Nobody was flying at that time. And I said, oh my God, I would like to rent a van so I could take my family on a trip. Right?
I remember this.
This is crazy. So listen, I was like, listen, I'm going to go onto a website and see if I could rent a van. I could not rent the van that I wanted a bathroom in. I couldn't find one. So I was like, what if I just buy one and rent it? Because I saw like I was going to travel from Orlando to Miami or to Atlanta to go rent a van. I couldn't find one that I wanted. So I was like, whoa, this is an opportunity. And listen, my side hustle opportunities are short. They are very short. They're like, get in, make some money, and get out. That's side hustle. It's not like sometimes these are side hustles could last forever. Some last for like a week or two. And I love that we can do that. Do you guys do something like this as far as a short time side hustle? I would love to hear that from you. So comment, let us know. All right, so I'm going to share my story now. Over the summer last year, I was like, I want to take my family on a vacation. You might have even seen the van that I took my family on a vacation with, right? It was a road trip to the Northeast. And so I couldn't find one. So I went to RV Trader and bought a used Sprinter van. It was a 2017 Sprinter van. And guess what? You could do the same thing. It was honestly, it was $82,000. I negotiated with the buyer, and you don't have to have $2,000. You have a few $1,000s, you can go get a loan, right? So I've shared this program with other people. You can spend $5,000. You might have $5,000 or a couple $1,000s that you can go buy a van, right? This is just, and it's not for everybody. It's for people that are willing to take the risk, right? And so what I did was I saw an opportunity where I couldn't find the van. I bought the van. Then I put it on outdoorsy.com after I came back. No, I put it as soon as we took off on our trip, because I bought it 2 days later, we were off on our trip. On our trip, I took pictures because I noticed that everybody else's pictures sucked on Outdoorsy. And I like marketing. I like social media. I was like, people make buying decisions on beautiful pictures, right? So I said, I'm going to kill just by description and by pictures alone, and by having this thing that nobody can find, I'll make some sales. The day I posted it up, I already got bookings for like the next month out. And that happened for 6 months. I just sold both my vans up. So I bought two then. I bought two, which was crazy, right? You don't need a lot of money. You don't need to put the entire $80-something thousand down, $75,000, $50,000 down. You can borrow money and get a loan and make it happen. I know other people that have done the same thing, but you can make $5,000, $10,000 a month just doing that. And I did. So think about that, right?
Well,
And I
I
knew that.
think what's important about it is that you found that there was something scarce in the market. And
Yes.
so that's
Yes.
where you're like, okay, this is where there's a gap. How can I fill that gap? So for anybody that's trying to think like what makes sense to you, I would definitely focus on that.
Right. And guys, if you have any questions, post them in the comments right now because I'm going to pull some of those up and we're going to answer them. All right. So I bought it. I rented it out for 6 months because I knew I was going to get in for 6 months. I knew during COVID that people aren't going to be flying that much and there was an opportunity. I bought them. I rented them out the entire summer, all the way to the end of the year. December 31st, I sold, or in November, I sold one. December 31st, I sold the other one and I was out. I made a bunch of money. I made more money because I bought them cheaper than I could find them on because I negotiated. And I made more money than I bought them for, which is I rented them and I made more money than I bought them for. That's what I'm talking about. We're talking about side hustle, right? So that is number 6 on my list. And guys, comment. Let me know if you like this conversation because I'm posting some of your comments up here on the chat. All right. So the next one, you saw this yesterday. I buy and sell domains, and they could be obscure domains, which doesn't even make sense. Like I sold hotelwaffles.com last year. I bought it for $12, $13 on GoDaddy.com. I sold it for over, I think, $1,000.
No way.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you did this. This is crazy.
I have a lot of side hustles that I'm passionate about.
Yeah,
Same thing. I bought what was the website? I forgot what it was that I bought yesterday. Let me see if I can pull it up. I forgot the website. Does anybody know what the website was? I have so many. Yeah, so I bought a domain and it was tacothursday.com. I bought it for $17 a few years ago. And I was like, I know someone's going to buy it because here's what I did. I looked at all the popular hashtags out there. I was like, this is a trending hashtag. It's Taco Tuesday, but also there's a company in Florida called Tijuana Flats, and they do Taco Thursdays, right? And so I started following that hashtag for a long time. And I was like, you know what? This is actually something that I know one day someone's going to pay me a lot of money. And after a couple of years, they paid me. I bought it for $17 yesterday, which is amazing that it coincides with the show. Is I sold it for $2,999 yesterday on GoDaddy.
No, that's amazing.
Right? Side hustle. This is what I love. All right, so that is selling domains. You could do it too. Buy a domain that you think is like popular. You're going to do a little bit of research on social media. You're going to do a little bit of research on all these different platforms. Think of something that you love, you think that other people can, and guess what? You can go out and pitch to people too. Like you see somebody that sells hotel waffles, and I know a bunch of them, that there's companies that do it, go pitch to them. You bought this, you know it's popular, and there's a whole bunch of other things around it too. Guys, I could go in depth with every one of these if you want like a one-on-one coaching with me. I love doing this. All right, so the next one is day trading. When I'm at home, I have another window up that is just trying to day trade. Doesn't matter if it's $10. Doesn't matter if it's $20 that I make. Doesn't matter if it's $1,000 I make that day. I like day trading. I like looking at the stock market right now. It's crazy.
I do too. So I have to say, I'm kind of new-ish to the stock market. So I really didn't start playing in it until last March. So super late to the game in the scheme of things. And it's weird because I actually come from, like, my dad's a stockbroker, but I was like, okay, let me get into this. I love it. Like I will examine stuff because for me, it's about understanding trends and like seeing where stuff is going. And then like, you also kind of feel like you're supporting the brands that you like as well too. And oh my gosh, I have so much fun with it.
And here's the thing. We're not risking our entire savings. We're not risking a huge amount, but if you're willing to take a risk on something, you might make some side money on the side. You might make $50, $200, whatever. It's extra money. This is what we're talking about today. How to make extra money. It's not your main hustle, which eventually one day it could turn into a main hustle or your main job. And I don't even like calling them jobs. I like just calling them passion projects, right? Yeah. Which is amazing, right? So day trade's number 8. Number 9, Sarah does this. I do this. I've been doing this for a long time. It is articles and then getting them sponsored by somebody. Write an article on Medium. Write an article on your own blog. Go out and reach out to a vendor that's in your space. And we're in the hotel space. So go out to reach out to a vendor. Say, hey, would you like more exposure by me talking about the 10 ways that your product is amazing because I love your product too. Don't just sell crap just to sell crap, but sell it because you're passionate about it. So for me, I have a bunch of people that come to me saying, hey, please write an article about this. I'm like, oh, I'm not passionate about it. I don't use it at my hotels. I don't use it personally. I'm not going to talk about it. Don't kill your authenticity with just trying to sell anything and everything, because you're going to lose followers. You're going to lose reputation. Sarah, what do you think?
Oh, definitely. And it's so much easier, especially because it's like if it is a side hustle and you want it to be something that you're passionate about. So it's like if you like skin, and there's so many ways that you can do that, whether it's skin care and you want to do like Rodin Fields, or whether you're passionate about like health and there's like Advocare and all of these other different companies. Like if you're genuinely into it, it makes it so much easier. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I think there's so many opportunities just within that space as far as writing an article. Has anybody written an article and had any kind of traction, like had more viewers? Like if you put yourself out there with something that you're passionate about, and guess what? I suck at writing. But guess what? I go out to VAs, virtual assistants, like we talked about, onlinejobs.vh, right? All these different things that can help you get stuff done faster. And that's what we're doing. You're just putting yourself out there. Listen, I'm not the best speaker. I mumble, I fumble, I bumble. I'm okay with it, right? And that's what you show when you're authentic to yourself and authentic to your following. I think that's important when you're talking about a side hustle, right? And let me put up some stuff. All right, so people are saying that they're making money off of like Melissa Jones says she made $700 off Dogecoin. Fine, I love that. You guys just keep it going. Christopher said that he got paid $100 or $150 for going to get a COVID test, right? There are people that are doing studies out there right now. I know somebody right now in Florida, Orlando, that is willing to pay, I think it's like $1,500 to go get a COVID or a vaccine.
Yeah.
Right? There are ways that you can make money. Don't just sit there and feel bad for yourself and make other people feel bad for you. There's opportunities out there. If you're creative, that's what we talked about at the beginning. So, all right. So that was number 9, writing articles. Number 10, if you have a website, you have something as far as a landing page, you can use Google AdSense to make money. And I've made, I think, up to $400 a month off Google AdSense on some of my articles on my websites that get a lot of traffic, right? So what Google AdSense is you see those ads in Google where when you pull up a page and it's like, here's an ad that has something related to that page. That's what they do. You can get paid for it. So think about that. Consider that. All right. So number 10 or 11, I don't know what number am I on right now, but there's a lot of different other things that you could do. And the next one is show sponsor. This episode is sponsored by Impulsify. Look, I'm going to bring it up again. It's Impulsify. They pay me to do this, right? So think about this. If you had a live show or if you had a YouTube channel that you could go out to people, and guess what? You don't need thousands of people. You just need some really engaged followers that really believe in what you're talking about. You can go out there and go sell a sponsorship for your show. Sarah, you do this too, right?
Oh, totally. Yeah. I do that for my show. I've certainly with my podcast. And I mean, similar to that is even also, I mean, that's like a whole other part of the business, but it's like, basically if you create an attractive enough platform, people want to do advertising. Maybe they want to do advertising on your site as well, kind of like based off of like what we were talking about with like Google AdSense, but specific companies. So yeah, there's a lot of ways that people could pay you extra money.
Absolutely. So that comes back to building your social media following, right? And you know, for me, the reason why I have inspiring 44,000 is because it's, for me, I noticed, I was like, well, these hotel vendors are paying thousands of dollars to go do a booth. They sometimes spend $100,000 to go do a booth. I could do it for a fraction of that price, just getting to all my connections here faster, cheaper, and right now analytic, right? Where if you got a booth for $50,000 or $100,000, you wouldn't know what you got unless people walked to your booth, gave you a business card or scanned your badge, and then you were like, let me try to reach out to them. Same thing. So show sponsorships are everything. So that's just another way of like doing a side hustle. All right. So the next one is sponsored posts. So if you notice, and Sarah does this too on her stories, and I might do this behind the scenes. You might not always see it in your face that this post is sponsored, but often, actually most of the time we say this is sponsored. I think that's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Which is kind of required.
yeah, it is required. And Sarah, like what's one thing that you do as far as sponsor? Maybe you could give your sponsor a shout out right now.
Oh, I got a couple sponsors. Yeah. I mean, like one company that I work with, Charisma Hotels and Resorts. So I share a lot about like what they're doing in their properties. I even actually do like a whole campaign with them. So it's like, I not only do I share photos and maybe talk about like their new, COVID testing offerings that they're doing, but then because I want to make it seamless and organic, I then also will do a blog post. So I just had a blog post come out about the workcation trend and where's a good place that you can do a workcation and work on the road. So you can really play around with your sponsors in a lot of different ways.
I think it's important when you can get people that you have a following that they're like, you know what, you do awesome content. I would love to sponsor you. If it's $50 a post, doesn't matter. If it's thousands of dollars a post, it doesn't matter. You're getting started somewhere. And by the way, you could even get started by saying, listen, and I've done this in the past, just to give you like an insight. A few years ago, when I didn't have a sponsor, I would not fake it till you make it, but I would go out to people and say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and promote you because I love what you guys are doing for free. Yep. And that builds rapport. That builds a connection with the company. That builds maybe a long-term relationship. Impulsify, I pitched to them 2 years ago. They didn't come. They were like, we're not ready yet. And I was okay with that, right? I was okay with that. I didn't say, oh, you know what? Forget you guys. You're not going to pay me right now. I'm not going to worry about you. But guess what? 2-3 years later, we've built this relationship. We text each other. I text these owners, and beginning of the year, I see that they're having this. They have this new guide out. I think that could help a lot of people. It's helped us. We use Impulsify, and so we're like, this is a great partnership. And so these are the ways that you make money. It's not just like, oh, I'm going to go reach out to a company and they're going to all of a sudden you're going to give you money. No, It's a relationship. It's a long-term play, and that's what I love about social media. That's what I love about networking. What about you, Sarah?
Oh, totally. When you know how I feel about this, especially when we think about networking, you can't not think about social media. And I know that you and I are very passionate about this because we definitely have talked about it a lot in our course, but it's all from networking. That is how you create future opportunities for yourself. And they might be opportunities that you didn't even know or think. Somebody could maybe even come to you and be like, hey, I think that you've got a good personality and maybe you can help us do XYZ. It might not even be what you do. And you're like, oh, that actually does tap into my natural talents. So networking is key. And if like you really keep yourself open, you might discover all sorts of different ways that you can create money.
Absolutely. I love that we're talking about this. And guys, if you like this, please hit the like button so I know that people are still watching, because I'm not looking at all the I'm not looking at the live feed, so I don't know who's all in it. So hit the like button and let me know that you are watching and that you appreciate this, because I think it's important that you keep me going too and you keep Sarah going, because some days you're like, no one's watching me, no one's following me, or no one's liking this. And sometimes you feel bad, right? And sometimes you're like, should I keep going? There's times that I'm like, should I keep going? And then that little voice inside my head says, heck yeah, you keep going, because you're providing value to one person. And that's what I love. Always think about that one person you're providing value for, because it could multiply. All right. So the next one, and let me see if I lost my show notes somewhere. Hang on. The next one is, and I think I just closed out everything. All right. So
how many notes? You got all your notes. Okay.
All right. Here it is. All right. So the last one, and guys, before we're giving away a $50 Amazon gift card to the most engaging person that I've been watching here on this chat, is go make an offer to somebody. You're passionate about something. You're really good at it. Remember we talked about that billion people. Something more than a billion people. Go offer them something right now. It's a lot of value. Show what they're doing, how you're going to change your life. Go tell them how you're going to move them forward in life. Go tell them how you're going to get a bigger following on social media. Go help them do something that is valued to them, right? And you can even go out to somebody and say, hey, listen, Sarah, what problems, what are you struggling with right now? How can I help you ease those struggles, those pains, that frustration, and then go do it, and then put an offer behind it. For $50, I'm going to go do this for you as a personal assistant. For $300, I'm going to go do this. For $10,000, I'm going to go do this for the next month or two.
Yep.
But if you don't put an offer out there, guess what? Nobody knows. We're not guessing. And that's the mindset I've learned in the last 6 months. Go put yourself out there, and you'll discover that you're going to be like, oh my God, I tried 100 times, but that one time out of the 100 made a difference. And so I think when they're hustle, they forget that it's a hustle. It doesn't come easy, right? It's not like all of a sudden you throw yourself out there and you're going to be the number one whatever or get this income. It's putting yourself out there, and that's what I love. Sarah, what do you think about that as far as like being afraid and just like going all in?
I love that you bring this up, because when you really like think about it and you really like break it down, what is it like? Why are you afraid? Are you afraid people are going to judge you? Are you afraid that like what you're not going to like seem cool, or you won't like get like reach your goals? But especially this whole notion of like, are people judging you? But when you really think about how often other people even are thinking about you, which is not very often because most of us are thinking about ourselves, you eliminate that. And it's like, why not? What if there's, I think anything that this past year has told us is to expect the unexpected. And we've had literally like the rug pulled out from underneath us. So like take chances, put yourself out there within reason. It's not saying to like throw caution into the wind, but it's like, hey, take the chance, because if you don't do it now, when?
Yeah, and I believe that if you're really passionate about it, if you feel a purpose behind it, like I feel like, and you're excited about it, like we are, like I love like I could talk about this like for 10 hours. If you want to be on this live and we talk about making money and side hustle and marketing and social media and business and just entrepreneurship, I could do this all day long, and you hear it in my voice, right? So what are you passionate about that you could do the same thing, that you can go offer somebody some insights, that you can go bring a lot of value to somebody, that you do the same thing? And I love that we all do this, and you have it in you. That's what I love about this. That's what I love about social media, and that's what I love about the world. Like you go out there and you put yourself out there, and you're not afraid. And sometimes you are. I get afraid too. I'm like, oh, and then I just dive. I just dive into the deep end, and it works. And sometimes it doesn't work, and that's okay. And those are the 10 or 11, 12 or 13 ways that you can make money on extra, just doing extra work and getting it after work, doing it before. Wake up at 4 o'clock, wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. This is what I do. Like, you're like, how do you get time to do this? I wake up early, do this. I do this on the side. I do this while my family's sleeping. I'm doing this in bed. Well, so there are opportunities. And here's my final, here's what I wrote down this morning while I was in bed, considering what I'm going to talk about today. And by the way, this is just stuff I just made up today because I'm passionate about it. Like, so when you're thinking about how passionate you are, you can make up stuff that serves the purpose of somebody else, but you already have it inside you. So here it is. Money making is not hard, because you can have either a growth mindset, or what's the other mindset that you can have? Sarah?
Fixed.
Huh?
A fixed
right?
mindset. Yeah.
All right. And so there's a difference. There's two types of people. You have the growth mindset, or you're like, just fix it. I'm not going to do it. It's hard. You're complaining, right? And so it's a mindset. I wrote this down. It's a mindset. It's your commitment. It's your drive. It's not making excuses, right? It's trying. It's being creative. You're willing to learn and hustle yourself. You're not out hustling me. You're not out hustling Sarah. It's out hustling yourself, right? Can you actually do this? And that's the message today, guys. So I hope this provided you value. I hope this helps you get some extra money on the side. It helps you maybe uncover a passion of yours that you love, that you can maybe make money off of. And it's okay that you make money off of it. Like, your passion sometimes can make money or sometimes not, because it's a passion project. And I'm okay with both. And I think you should be too. Guys, thank you so much for this opportunity. By the way, we do an after hours on Clubhouse. So after this, I'm jumping on Clubhouse for 15 minutes, answering questions about how to make money on all those things. So Sarah, right there, we got a few people on there. So we're going to be just talking after the show. So if you're on Clubhouse, connect with us and you'll see us there. And the people are saying we definitely need a part 2. All right, so this week's episode, winner for this week's episode, this person always comments. I love that he's always on here. It is Christopher Sikora. You just won a $50 Amazon gift card. Thank you so much, Christopher, for your comments. Guys, congratulate Christopher right here in the comments. And by the way, go share this with somebody else, right? Go share this with somebody else that can improve. Or here's another one. go rewatch it a few times and uncover some opportunities for yourself, which I love. Like when I'm listening to a podcast, guess what? I rewind it and maybe listen to it twice. Or if I'm reading a book that's like, oh my God, I'll go back a few times and just uncover some golden nuggets that I missed, right? And so, guys, thank you so much for this opportunity. This episode is brought to you, and hang on, let me pull this up real quick. Brought to you by, and please, everybody go there right now. It is impulsifyinc.com. You can grab, yep, Sarah, you can grab the 2021 bestseller hotel retail guide right now. It's amazing. It's going to change the way you sell stuff in your to-go, grab-and-go markets, your pantry, your gift shop, anything that you're doing as far as selling online. It tells you like what the hottest products are by category. So you want the best beverages, you want the best energy drinks. It tells you there. So please go to the website right now, and here it is right there. And you can download the free guide and keep it going. That's what I love about when we're talking about hustling. We keep it going. And so, all right. So thank you so much. If you want to rewatch all past episodes, you can go to rupesh.co/show. I thank you. And Sarah, I thank you for just staying on. I really appreciate you.
Of course.
I appreciate your side hustle. You know, it's doing it together. It's learning from each other. And that's what we're here to do. So guys, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go out there and just go hustle, right?
Make more money.
It's okay. Go make some money. Okay. Yeah, guys, talk to you next week. See ya.
Bye.
All right, so we're going back into